Anyway, it's gonna have to do. So, I'm gonna be doing this on a iPhone live stream because, well, I'm gonna turn the light off. Because, well, I don't want to keep on charging my laptop because it's at a point where its charging is, its battery's not doing too well. So I'm gonna leave my whole thing up there. So, that being said, let me, oh, for goodness sake. Anyways, there we go. Oh, I see G-Con's in here. Alright, so let me explain what's been happening. For those of you who aren't familiar with this issue that's been going on, G-Man, a guy that you've seen my debate with him on theistic evolution probably, and as well as several encounters we've had in the past, he has gotten kicked out of Shield Squad, a group that deals with the rising cult of Hebrew Israelites, a group that believes that black people are the true Jewish Israelites. And so they've been involved in this apologetic, people in this group, Vocab Malone, G Consciousness, Surreal, Sister Cherry, a few other people that I can't think of off the top of my head, but they engage with it. And G-Man was a member of this until recently he had gotten kicked out. So I've tried getting both sides of the story. I've listened to G-Man's side on his video rants, and then I've tried getting Faithful to God, Veckel, and their interactions with G-Con, Vocab, and so far, I mean, I'm with G-Con and the others. I'm siding with them because what they have experienced, I could have just told them from the start, I mean, don't do this. Don't let this guy be in there. In fact, I've mentioned that I've had, recommended people if you're gonna go to Shield Squad, checking these guys out, steer clear from G-Man on this. And the reason why is because that he is a hypocrite who does not bear forth good fruit when engaging in these apologetics. In fact, he either acts like he's in the flesh or he acts like he's a Hebrew Israelite himself in conduct and behavior. Now, oh my goodness, seriously? Okay, stupid phone. Well, guys, this is gonna be certainly an interesting thing. So I just gotta make sure to be careful. I'm gonna take this book here because I wanna give a shout out to it later. But hopefully this stays still then. So yeah, I've been reading my Bible and doing it as it says, as G-Man suggests. And yes, this is King James in case G-Man wants to keep going about that. And what I've noticed from G-Man is a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of bad fruits that get brought forth. So one of them is the way that he just, and he's admitted even when making the rap video, that he's in it to be in the flesh. That he admitted he was going to get in the flesh to make a rap diss against a Hebrew Israelite group of Sakari or something like that. I don't know. And it was all because rebuke him like a mouse. I'm not, like I said, I don't care about the whole, looking like a boss thing, which is what I'm going to get at in a bit concerning another aspect of G-Man. So, yeah, apparently this Sakara guy called G-Man a homosexual or said he was effeminate or something like that. And, G-Man would, of course, take offense to that. But instead of demonstrating and showing how inconsistent Sakari is, and thus Sakari has no evidence, he decided to get in the flesh and to make a diss, of which I can't say the title, because it uses a very strong term for African Americans. And he made this, and he was told, kind of not to do this, even though he says he revised it like 5 times to make sure it would fare some, but he still titles it what he titles it. But he said it's basically Sakari something diss rap. I'll just say that much. And he releases this, and he was warned ahead of time. And from what I've heard, he got a phone call, but now he claims that he wasn't able to get that he got kicked out based off of the phone call. So, the G-Man, that's not the first time he's done something like that. I mean, when it comes to his behavior, he's done this to several people, in which he just acts immature and childish to the point of either making raps about him. We were good friends for a bit, but then it got to the point where ever since the whole debacle about 2 Corinthians 4:4, he's taking that to be something that's supposed to be divisive. And he started making all kinds of accusations and just talking nonsense that he wasn't even aware about concerning the community that I'm a part of, such as, James White. He mentions, you shouldn't have let a Muslim preach in his own church, which again shows G-Man doesn't really study the whole controversy or even what the facts were, since that was one, not even James White's church, and then B, Muslim wasn't even preaching in there. It was just simply explaining what Muslims believe, so it opens up a dialogue for people where Muslims and Christians can interact with each other. So G-Man just assumes things without looking into facts. And that's what I try to do here with this situation, look from both sides, both perspectives. And so far, G-Man is just out there in the wrong. So what's another thing? Oh yeah. Here's the thing, why I have seen this coming, and I've told or tried to suggest people, and even other people like Faith of the God, even slightly Veckel, understood what the problem was with G-Man. And that is, he is not really doing this for, and this is my opinion, this is, I think, very clear based on what we're seeing. He's not in this for Christ, he's not in this to glorify God, to preach the gospel to people. He is doing this for attention. If you have seen the latest video and you've seen some interactions he's had with people, what's the one thing he always likes to go back to? My channel has this much subscribers. How much does yours have? My video got this much views. How much did yours get? Who cares? I don't care whether you have 25,000, 50,000, or 1 million subscribers. I could care less. Because you know who gets a lot of subscribers? Joel Osteen. Does that mean he's got truth? There's points behind his videos? No. He's just telling what people like to hear. I don't care about numbers. The only reason that for me putting my subscriber count on is so that one, I keep forgetting and losing track, and second of all, so that way I can remind myself that whenever a certain goal is reached, that I can at least entertain a few people with something for rewards. Because the one thing that I do is that also to get the numbers up to preach the gospel message. And I don't brag about my numbers. I don't even know what my count is at. All I know is at 1,000 something. But I could care less at where it is specifically and exactly at, or how many views my videos get. I can tell right now from some people watching. Right now we were at like 5, now it's gone down to 3. I don't care about that, because I know for one, this video is gonna stay up. The live stream ain't doing its own thing. Promotions. Yeah, G-Man will, and that's the other thing too, is that, I mean, it's not just simply the rap disses. He's also done, and I even played along a bit because it was a joke we were doing between each other. The whole WWE style bravado and ego he has on this stuff. That he's had impersonations of wrestlers and all that, and he's a big wrestling fan, and we'll talk about this in his casual time. But when it comes to he kind of brings up his own, like G-Man might be an actual kind of wrestler persona that he's created for himself, and that's why you see the very emotional, aggressive, and passionate version of him in these hangouts that he gets in, because it's sort of like seeing, okay, this is what to expect when you see him. I'm like, dude, you gotta stop acting like this. And Selma's saying G-Man as well. Yeah. It bothers me because I actually cared about him and tried to help him. But now it's gotten to the point that he's doing things to just simply antagonize me at this point. Like, right now he's challenged me to a debate about the King James Bible versus other translations. He's not a King James only advocate, but he believes that the King James Bible is the best Bible translation out of all the others. And I want to know why. So if he's still looking for it, because I've messaged him on Skype, so if you're interested in the debate, then we'll set something up. But I guarantee you that if there's certain conditions, he's probably going to change them. So I'm going to just put this for later. And it's ridiculous also that he's doing all this while he says that he was sick. I mean, from what I heard, it sounded like he said one video that he was coughing up some bad mucus or some blood. At least if that's what I remember. But he made it sound like it was a very serious thing. And I'm like, dude, why are you making these stupid videos while you're sick? When I had 4 of my wisdom teeth removed, I didn't wait until like a month or two to make a video. I waited for a month or two to make a video. I didn't just get on and start trying to, talk while I'm in my worst. Because that's not how you do things. You don't push yourself. Guys, just keep G-Man in prayer, because it's obvious he's going through a lot, but at the same time, I'm sorry, he brought this on himself. That's just the facts. Faithful to God saw it coming. Buckle saw it coming. It was bound to happen. And now because one of the things he's talking about Vocab Malone for is, well, Vocab Malone was a Calvinist, and now he's trying to make that a big deal, that, expose him because it's all about Calvinism. That's bullcrap. I didn't even know Vocab Malone was a Calvinist. I mean, sorry, I just wasn't clear. I've seen the stuff, and he didn't seem like one when I first heard about him and started seeing him in videos. I mean, then you have G-Con. I mean, there was one moment I've had negatively with G-Con, and we've distanced ourselves a bit, and it was a time where he mentioned something that kind of angered Sister Hipster. But at this point, I wouldn't mind having him on, because in my opinion, I don't think G-Con meant any harm, looking back at it. We just argued on something that, heck, I forgot. But that's the thing. That's only one negative experience that I know, and I've heard from many people, G-Con's a good guy. But when it comes to G-Man, I've experienced him myself. One thing I noticed is he will antagonize and get in the flesh just to personally upset and rile people up. And that's not how you do things. And he wants to also talk about like him getting attacked or something like that, or the comments he gets, tries to justify it. Well, it says that you'll be hated, and like, doesn't mean you have to go and like try to intentionally seek it. Preach the gospel. let the beauty of the gospel flow naturally, and let those who hate it come naturally. Don't go out and intend to seek your own persecution complex. That's not how things are done. It's not. So, there are many things I can go about with G-Man, but I will just say those are the main things that are the problem, and G-Man needs some help. I'm talking serious help. And that he needs to start going to, hopefully he is going to church, but that he does need to go to church, seek biblical counsel, biblical wisdom from his pastor, ask him about these situations and guidance, because your church is basically an extended family, and the pastor is there to help out the flock. Yawning a bit there. The pastor is there to help out. So, G-Man, seek help, seek wisdom, seek counsel. Because, honestly, it's not Vocab or G-Con that's in error, or any of the Shield Squad guys. It's you. And if you still want to do that debate, I'm more than happy to take you up on it. But at least, actually, if you're going to make a debate comment like that in one of my videos and haven't heard much from you since then, even though I sent you a Skype message about it, I'm starting to think you aren't taking it seriously. So, we'll see. So, that's all I want to say for that. But before I do conclude this, I have this book here that I just recently got today. It's called Understanding the Times, New Testament Studies in the 21st Century, general edited by Andreas J. Kostenberger and Robert W. Yarborough. And it's essays in honor of D.A. Carson for his 65th birthday. But the books in here are actually very good. It's filled with a lot of good essays about how to interpret the Bible with hermeneutics. This one from Grant Osborne, Hermeneutics and Theological Interpretation. The Doctrine of Justification found in Galatians by Douglas J. Moo. And personally, one of my favorites out of this whole collection from Andreas J. Kostenberger himself is Lifting Up the Son of Man and God's Love for the World, John 3:16, in its historical, literary, and theological context. So, a long, probably 15-page essay dealing explicitly with only one verse of the Bible, and that is John 3:16, and how, in light of context, how should we view this passage? So this is a very good book. I got it on sale, but right now they still got it going on for $6.99 on christianbook.com. It's a 400-page book, very well done, and I like the material that was presented in it. So I would recommend getting that if y'all want there. There's Anarchy Wasps. Yeah. I swear, if I find another one of those things in the morning before this bug man gets here, I am going to flip. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. So, G-Man, just, keep in mind, for goodness sake, the Anarchy Wasp from Egypt. Selma, you are definitely going to be getting a punishment at some point. I'm either oh my goodness, you guys are something else. Anyway, so that being said, take care, and as usual, shalom aleichem, peace be upon you, because I wish that upon you. Have a great day.